Morning all. It's coffee time. So, what's happening with the world? Well, I'm not going to talk about the royal family today. I may touch on it a little bit, but the last one was all about Harry and Meghan and all of that, so I'm not going to talk about that. So today, what's going on in the news? I'll fire up Twitter up here. Now, I say I am English by birth, but Welsh by adoption. Oops. And I support the Welsh rugby team in the Six Nations and the World Cups. So, there's a lot of stuff all over social media, mainly Twitter, and I don't know how long Twitter's going to be around because there's been some kind of announcement and all that, and I don't know, I'm not getting into that. But the headlines are they're banning the singing of Delilah at the matches, and that's the headline, Delilah banned. So you've got to look into this a little bit deeper as well. The Welsh Rugby Union are banning the male voice choirs from singing it in the stadium before the matches and after the matches. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to a rugby match in the Millennium or Principality Stadium. The atmosphere is fantastic. There's an element of theatre there. They've got the big flame cannons going off all the time. But it's unique, you know. I mean, it's like, you know, some of the other teams have the haka. Well, the Welsh have the crowd behind them, and they have the singing, and the male voice choirs come in and they sing. And Delilah it's like the Sweet Caroline of Welsh rugby. It's the unofficial anthem, in a way. And it's an old song, made famous by Tom Jones. I actually don't know, did Tom Jones write Delilah? Let me just Google that and see. Did Tom Jones write? Somebody wrote it for Tom Jones. Well, let's have a look. Sorry about this. Next, written by Birmingham, who was contributed to the song. Here we are. Right, okay. So no, Tom Jones didn't write it, but he was one of the first people to sing it. 1967, 1968, and do you know he won an award for it? Well, it didn't work. Sorry, it earned Reed and Mason, the writers, the 1968 Ivan Novello Award for the best song musically and lyrically. So a few years before I was born. You know, it's winning awards, and now we're trying to ban it. Now that there we go. Genre pop, murder ballad. The alarm's going off. Let's turn them off. So it's a song that's associated with Tom Jones. It's a song that's associated with the Welsh. I did wonder if it was a folk song actually, but obviously it's not, because there's a massive history of folk songs being turned into pop songs in Wales. So now they're trying to ban it. And of course, you know, the context, they don't want anybody singing it. That's the context. The Welsh voice choirs aren't going to sing it. I mean, it's going to massively backfire, because I'm pretty sure, even if they edit it out, which they probably will, everybody's going to be singing it when, you know, at the Welsh matches now, because of the controversy around it. Is it controversial? Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because if it was written by people, and it doesn't seem from here to be based on a true story. Not from what I can see here. I know it's only it's only a very thingy. So what's Tom Jones said about it? Let's see. Come on. Come on. I'm looking on Wales Online, which is obviously not the font of all great, well-researched news anyway. Well, let's see what Tom... You know, it's half-time entertainment. How much do we... Delilah will not play this from the playlist for the chorus, for choirs rather. Music by Lou Reed, the song I mentioned. Oh, bloody hell, no, accept. He's been, you know. Well, yeah, there's a point as well. Oh, God. Oh. Yeah, well, Tom Jones, and me and Tom Jones. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, right, so right, okay. So you've watched me read an article on the internet, which is not that exciting yet. Yeah, if... Bottom line, if you're looking to be offended by the lyrics, you will be. Now, from what I've seen here, it's not based on a real case, a real true story case, so, you know, it does, you know, it is a song about domestic violence. Or domestic violence, you know, what's the difference? It's always domestic violence and violence. It's still violence. But anyway, and there's people... You see, the people that are sort of... The people that are talking about it, including me, I suppose, really, but these people, they are the talking heads, the rent-a-gobs, that, oh, I've got to have an opinion on something and all that. They'll move on to another subject soon, you know, this is the thing, we're going to move on to another subject next week or whenever, and it's just, you know, oh, we're going to ban this, but we're not. Right. Oh, sorry, a little bit confused and I'm very aware of the time, but this is to be quite honest with you, this is a test thing because of the internet done and I want to see how fast it uploads and all the rest of it, so this one's a test piece. But yeah, if you're seeking to be offended by the lyrics, you will. If you're seeking to find it's just a good sing-along tune, then that's what it is. Are the lyrics offensive? That's not a yes-no answer. Like I say, if you're seeking to be offended, then you will be offended. Songs trivialising murder. Well, yeah, but there's songs about all sorts, you know. I mean, it says on this article here, in 2020, England's Rugby Football Union reviewed the context of England's rugby anthem, Swing Low Sweet Chariot, amid the Black Lives Matter protests. The song is believed to have its roots in American slavery, with its credited author being Wallace Wills, a freed slave from Oklahoma. The RFU didn't ban the singing of a song, but it said it would proactively educate fans on the song's history. I mean, we are... If it's banned, is it a whitewashing of history? Is that the thing? If we don't like something and it makes us uncomfortable and we don't think it should be talked about, should we ban it? Because discourse then, there's no discourse. People don't learn, it's not educational. You know, this is where the problem is. I don't like that. I don't like that, so I'm going to ban it so you can't do it. That is a very slippery slope. That is where you get like banning of books in libraries, and we all know where that ends up, being European. The Americans are at it at the moment, banning books. And see, we're not banning the Bible. Oh, what's in the Bible? Oh, misogyny, mutilation, etc, etc, etc. We're not banning that. But they're banning, I don't know, I'm not really read the articles. There's a lot of LGBTQ T plus literature that's all being banned, and that's another subject as well, and it is a thing, you know, this drag queen story out and people getting all het up about it, and it's just like, well, yeah, but we saw drag queens on the telly when I was a kid, and it was, and everyone said, oh, it's a drag queen, it's a man dressed as a woman, it's a pantomime dame and all that. I mean, I never went to the theatre, but when I did go to the theatre, it was to see Christmas pantomimes, and the dames were basically drag queens. So, it didn't, I grew up normal and well adjusted about that. So, yeah, anyway. Yeah. No, I don't think it should be banned. The choir's banning it. What are we going to sing instead? And in 5 years' time, are we going to be banning something else and something else and something else? And, the UK national anthem, it's now God Save the King. It was God Save the Queen for most of my life. First verse, but you get into the second and third verses, it's a very imperialistic. Should that be banned? No, obviously not. People aren't going to stand for the banning of the anthem, but they'll quite happily stand for a pop song that won awards in 1967, 68, and is now deemed to be offensive and glorify. But it doesn't, does it? It doesn't glorify that. It's about violence. But does it turn on and say, you must do this? It doesn't glorify it. It is just a song about violence. The subject matter is that. And that's for you, your own consideration and your own concern. And like one of the rugby players said, on his Twitter, the WRU are in a lot of trouble at the moment. There's a lot of problems, and they're concentrating on this. It's just a little bit of a wag the dog or look over there kind of thing, really, to me. Anyway, peace out.